All right, guys, what's going on? So I'm going to take you through how to get Sunshine working to use Moonlight to stream a AMD based GPU system. So a lot of virtual machines are like NVIDIA, and Moonlight works really good with NVIDIA, ties right on in with the Shield game streaming that they have on there, and it works so nice. Now you can use Moonlight with an AMD GPU if you use Sunshine, and I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. I'll try to make it just as simple and as easy as possible, because even though it seems like a lot, it turns out that it's actually pretty easy to do. And if it's something where you're wanting to be able to experiment with Moonlight on an AMD GPU and stream that, and not just use Parsec or something else like that, this will be a way for you to do that. Now, Moonlight doing it this way through Sunshine is not going to be the same quality, and I'll talk about that more throughout the video a little bit. It's not going to be the same quality as using Moonlight with an NVIDIA GPU. That connection is extremely good. Some of the best game streaming I've tested with cloud PCs and other things is with Moonlight connected to an NVIDIA GPU. The latency is so low, the picture quality is great, there's almost never any pixelation or anything like that. Moonlight used with Sunshine on an AMD-based system, a GPU, does a similar thing as Parsec, how it's streaming it to you using software and things like that, and there's quality settings and that type of thing. So it works a lot like Parsec does in a way, but if you work on it enough and adjust it enough, I do feel like the experience does tend to be a little bit better when it comes to the gaming side. So let's get into how to use Sunshine to do this. So you're going to need to be on whatever the AMD base system is that you're going to want to be streaming from. So if you've got a maximum settings PC in the cloud, or some other cloud PC that's AMD based, and you want to use Moonlight instead of Parsec or something like that, with that system, this is what you'll be able to do. So you'll have to go on that VM and set that up. So I am on one of the machines here. Now, I'm going to actually stream a different one that I already have set up, but to show you how to set this up, there's going to be two things that you're going to need, and I will be putting links in the description for you below to a Google Drive for the Sunshine and for the code, the settings that you're going to need to put in. I'm going to put those in the description for you. You're going to need to go to those and download them, and then you'll be able to do the install of Sunshine, which I'm going to show you, and you'll also be able to do the copy and pasting of these settings out of a notepad. So first thing is, you're going to get your Sunshine file. This is Sunshine Windows, and this is the file that you need. It took me a long time to find this. Shout out to DGLT on Discord. He is a person over there I've been talking to a lot. He has been a ton of help getting me the files needed, the directions needed, and things to get this done. So thanks a lot to him for all the help that he put out for me here. So anyways, with this file, you're going to unzip your Sunshine. Now, you're going to want to put this wherever you're going to remember it. So what I do is I like to create a new folder on my desktop rather than just unzipping it into wherever you download it. For me, it just wound up being easier to create a Sunshine folder just like that, and then we'll wind up extracting this to that folder. So let's right click this, and we're going to do extract all, browse, and you're going to come into that new Sunshine folder you just made, select that, and that's where we're going to go ahead and extract Sunshine to. And this is being done on your virtual machine, your VM, or whatever AMD your client PC is going to be. So now that that's done, we've got that in our folder. What you're going to want to do once that's installed is go to Assets, so we can see where our location is here, Assets and Sunshine. So you double click this and it's Notepad, and these are all the settings that are inside of here. So for the most part, what you can do to make this easy to get kind of a setup that'll get you going is just select all and delete all that out of there, and then you're going to use the example that I'm going to try to include for you down in the description. Obviously, don't delete all of that if you don't have a way to do this part and get this from me, because you could just look at all these settings as well and go through and change them yourself. But you can do a select all. We're going to copy. We're going to back into our Sunshine notepad right here. We're going to paste all that in there, and we're going to save it. So Now that we've done that, we'll be good. So if we open that back up, we're all changed up. Now there's a lot of different kind of directions in here. You're going to have to read through. There's a lot of things you can change. I want to show you the two main kind of things that you're going to be looking at when you go down through here. And that's right here. This is actually your streaming, your encoding software parameters and that kind of stuff. So you're either going to be using CRF, which you're probably going to use a number between 1 and 3. You would have to experiment with that a little bit. Every time you make a change in here, you have to save it and restart your Sunshine. Or you're going to use QP, quantization parameters. And this is what I wound up having to use, but my numbers are a little bit different. I'm going to show you those when we go over to the VM. So these are what you're really going to be playing with for your stream quality. That it's going to affect your pixelation and your stutters, whether you get any or not. So you're going to have to play with this. This can be anywhere from 1 to 52, basically. I think mine's on like 32 or 36 right now on the VM working well. And I'll show you that. I'll show you a Rogue Company or something running. And then that there. And then, of course, you got your minimum threads. So depending on your processor, you're going to want to pick what amount of minimum threads are going to work out well for you on this. I believe mine's set to 12 because I have a 24 thread on the VM. So HEVC mode, so that's just set to 1. And then, of course, there's other directions and settings. But those are the main things that you're going to be looking at. So educate yourself on those just a little bit, and you're going to wind up having to play with which one of these is better for you and which numbers work out better for you in here. That's kind of the best way I can explain it. It took me a couple of weeks of fiddling around to really get things right. So that's how you would just initially get your Sunshine set up ready to go. So what I'm going to do is actually take us over to the VM and show you with everything set up over there, just like I did here, exactly what we're going to need to do. All right, guys, so here we are. I've got my maximum settings rig fired up. This is the best AMD rig I have access to with any company right now, so I'm using it as the example of how I'm going to stream this rig to me using Moonlight to my local PC here. So over on the console side, I've already got this fired up because this is how you're going to need to set this up on the VM ahead of time. So say you didn't have a console like this, say you were using a VM that you had to have like Parsec fired up first or something, you could pull that off. You could be using Parsec to stream it and then set things up and then wind up closing out Parsec and using Moonlight to do the stream. It is possible to do it that way. This way is easier. Maximum settings just happens to give you this console to work with here first, and you can do whatever you want before streaming this VM to wherever you're going to game or whatever. But if you're using a service that doesn't have this, you can use Parsec or whatever first to be streaming the desktop to do this exact same thing that I'm going to do right here to set this up. But for ease, we're going to do it this way here, the way that I have it. So now that we are ready, now what I've done before I bring this up for the next part, so you can see my Sunshine folder right here. So I've done the extracting of Sunshine for Windows into my Sunshine folder. I've done the changing of that file. I'll show you here. So this is where we had our assets. This is where we we deleted everything out and then copy and pasted in all the new settings. And then this is where I showed you guys the CRF and the QP, and there I was right. Like I said, I've got mine set to 32 right now. I'm still playing with this to get the best quality versus stutters and stuff that I can get. CRF doesn't work for me at all, hardly, no matter what. And then I still got the 12 threads there. So yeah, I've got everything set up here. So the next part, once you've done all that, like I said, you're good to go. Now it's time to run Sunshine and connect to Moonlight. So we want to go into PowerShell. So we're going to open Windows PowerShell, and we're going to run as administrator. Easy enough. All right, so once we've done that, we need to go over to our Sunshine directory. So we're going to do our change directory. That'll be CD, C:// and then where I've now, before I finish this, just so in case you don't know how, if you right-click on here and go to Properties, there's your path. So C, users, admin, desktop, /Sunshine. Okay, so this gives you your path if you don't happen to know exactly what that is there. So you're going to be entering the path of that folder into here. So we had users /admin /desktop and /Sunshine. So this is going to put us into our Sunshine folder directory. And with everything set up, all we have to do now is our // Sunshine.exe, for the file. And then for this time now, the machine is going to forget these settings every time. So once we do this process, we enter our PIN, we connect to Moonlight. When we're done and we log off and everything, and then we want to get back on, it's going to forget the PIN and everything, and you have to reset it up through Moonlight. There's a way around that. So at the end of the video, I'm going to have a little extra section where I show you how to make it hopefully remember your PIN and just be able to connect easier. But let's go through this part first. So we're going to have flags equals 0, 1. Once we do that, enter, you're going to see it load up all this kind of stuff here. So once you're to this point, I'm going to minimize, and here's my local PC. We're going to open up Moonlight. This is the PC I'm going to be streaming to. Now here's the 5700 XT that I'm connecting to. So we're going to remove it, and I'm going to add a PC. I'm going to use the IP of, this is the same way you set up Moonlight for an NVIDIA. It's the exact same process. So we use our IP here. Let me just type this in. All right. So same way that you set up with NVIDIA, we go into our Moonlight, we put in our IP address, we hit OK. Now you can see it has a little lock. Once we click on that, we get our PIN. So we got 6677 here for this one. So all we got to do is go back over to our console. Now you can say it says, please insert PIN, because now it knows that there's a connection there. So I'm just going to double check we don't mess up. 6677. 6677, enter. And you'll see it come up verified. And everything should connect just fine right here. So now that's done that, leave this open, just minimize it, stopping my console. If you don't have a console, you'd close out Parsec, for instance. Because you don't want to try to connect Moonlight and Parsec at the same time trying to stream that. You could use Parsec up to this point, and then just like I did stop console, close all the Parsec out. You won't have connection to your VM anymore, but that's okay, because you should now be able to just click on it in Moonlight and click on desktop to get it to come up. I hope that makes sense for you. Like I said, if you have any questions, definitely, guys, hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. And I will be launching a Discord soon, too, so that you guys can have a lot more conversation with me if you would like. Get answers to questions, help with PC builds, all kinds of stuff like that. So here we are. We're on our maximum settings build. I'm going to bring up Task Manager and show you. This is our 5700 XT build with a Ryzen 3900X. And 12 core, 24 threads. So that's why I have the 12 thread set. So you can see here it's streaming really well. We're now streaming our virtual machine using Moonlight. And you can see here we're running our 1440p. Everything's working just fine for Sunshine. And to show you guys also that how it works for gaming, we're just going to make it easy and jump into a round of Rogue Company. It's quick to get into. I don't have Call of Duty on here right now. I have Flight Simulator on here, but as you guys know, it'll take us ages to load into that. And I already have a test video coming out for that on this rig anyways using Parsec. So let's just go in and open up Rogue Company real quick. I'll fast forward us and get us over into the gameplay so that you can check it out. All right, guys, so here we are loaded up on Rogue Company. We are using Moonlight to stream it from an AMD 5700 XT virtual machine right on out of Canada. I love this company, Maximum Settings. They've been really great to work with, and so I thought it was a great opportunity to use their machine to show off being able to do this with Moonlight and Sunshine. So we're in windowed full screen. That just happens to work better for whatever reason on here. Full screen tends to give me a little bit of trouble. No idea why. Motion blur's off and all ultra, just so that you guys know what we got there. I'm not going to have Afterburner running or anything like that. This game will run 100 to 150 FPS if you're curious on this rig with no problem all the time. So I'm just going to jump into a strikeout. I like to run around and do that. It's easy for the video. And we'll check out, see if there's stutters. Lag is one thing, but stutters is what I'm looking for with the connection. I've really been playing with these numbers a lot, and also what the pixelation is versus the stutter. So let's see how this looks once we get into some moving gameplay. I'll fast forward this past the matchmaking part here. Alright, guys, here we are loaded into a match. I'm not going to do a lot. I just want to show you that it would work, that we could launch into the game. Now, I haven't had any weird disconnects. I do still get some stutters. Like I said, I'm working on those numbers a bit. I might have to raise that 32 up to like 34, 38. It'll be like a little less picture quality, but even less stuttery. But let's see how this does for us here. See what the pixelation and latency and stutters do. But for the most part, I've been getting things tweaked into where the experience is pretty good with Moonlight through Sunshine running this AMD virtual machine here. So I'm sure we'll get some stutters and issues here. I can tell you just off the bat, the latency feels really good, as it usually does with Moonlight. But like I said, remember, you're never going to get that same experience with Moonlight and an AMD card as you would NVIDIA, because the way it ties into the Shield game streaming and everything is just a lot different, and the latency and the visual quality, you see a big stutter there, the latency and visual quality is just so much better with an NVIDIA GPU and Moonlight. But it's nice to have another option. Parsec works great for the desktop experience, but I do have a lot of trouble getting it to work great for games, and even this way is not too bad. I still feel like, for the most part, even this workaround using Sunshine to get Moonlight to work on here actually does game better than Parsec a lot of the time, if you don't mind going through the setup process and getting things where you need them for your particular build. But I'll run around a little bit more here. You see a little bit of pixelation here and there, but it's not too bad. Latency feels good, and we've only had one stutter so far. Other than that, it has stayed pretty decent. Now, the lower you make that number, 1 to 52, for the QP setting in those notes, the lower the number, the higher the quality of the picture, but the more chances of getting those big stutters and things and having issue. And then the higher the number, you're going to get more compression, less visual quality, but you will get less stutters and less issue with the stream. So it's something you're going to have to play around with yourself, depending on what kind of machine you're using to get this to work properly.
Lethal out.
Alright, hard for me to talk about all that and play at the same time, but I think you got the idea. There's one more little stutter there. I get similar things in Parsec as well, but with even worse pixelation. I mean, my favorite combination really is Moonlight with an NVIDIA virtual machine, cloud PC. Nothing really beats that experience. Shadow's pretty darn close because they have a native app, but yeah. But this is a nice option to have. So if you're currently using Parsec or some other software to stream your AMD cloud PC or your local PC, and you just want to try something different, then this will show you how to do it with Sunshine and Moonlight. We've only had those two stutters though, and the rest of the time everything's been really good. And like I said, you can really keep working on settings both in Moonlight and in Sunshine. Whoa, did you see him? To get the experience well balanced for you between the picture quality and the stutters that you're willing to accept during your gameplay. So alright guys, so that's round loss. No big deal there, but I think you saw it did pretty well. We had those two big stutters, but usually I don't get those. I'm getting this tweaked in pretty good to where it works well for me with Moonlight on here with Sunshine. So alright guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for now. That should show you how to get Sunshine going so that you can use Moonlight on an AMD based system with an AMD GPU. So unfortunately, as I had said earlier in the video, or wrote out rather, I haven't been able to get it to remember the pin so that when you open Moonlight and you have the AMD rig booted up, that it'll automatically recognize it like it would an NVIDIA build, and be able to just click to open that up and to connect to it once you get Sunshine going on your VM. So I am talking to a couple of people right now, trying to see if I can't get that situated. I've tried a few different methods, and just nothing wants to work for that, for Sunshine to remember Moonlight and the pin and everything. So when I get that figured out, if I get it figured out, which hopefully I will, it's not a big deal to have to go in and put your IP address into Moonlight each time and do the pin. I mean, it'll take you less than 2 minutes to go in and open up your Sunshine, get it ready, and then connect to it if you really want to use Moonlight. It's not a big deal, but it would be convenient to get it to remember that pin. So if I get that figured out, I will definitely make you another video showing you just that really quickly, how to make that happen. But other than that, I think everything else was covered in this video really well. If you have any problems, definitely hit me up in the comments down below. Hit me on Twitter, Facebook. I have Discord coming as well soon, so whatever works for you. If you've got any questions or problems, I will definitely do my best to help you out. That's definitely why the channel's here. One of the biggest reasons it's here is because I want to be able to help you guys out. So thanks a lot for coming to check out this video. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give this video a thumbs up. Ring that notification bell so you know when I drop new videos. Leave me your comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.